Hey guys, it's Nick from 10 Top 5, and today we are going to take a look at the top 10 normal cars with crazy engines. Coming in at number 10 is the Cadillac CTS-V. This car is normally an upscale midsize sedan that competes with vehicles like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, BMW 5 Series, Audi A6, and the Lexus GS. Now the non-V model comes with a quiet interior, a 3.6 liter V6 that produces 300 horsepower, or you could step down to a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that produces 268 horsepower. Now the model below the V is the V Sport, which sports a twin turbocharged V6 that has 420 horsepower. But if you opt for the V model, your car is going to come with a supercharged 6.4 liter V8 producing 640 horsepower. Now this 6.4 liter V8 is the same engine that comes with a Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Starting at 83 grand, the CTS-V is an average sedan with modified body parts for improved downforce and aero and a wicked engine. At number 9 is the second generation Lexus GS, in particular the Lexus GS-300. This car competed with vehicles like the BMW 5 Series, Mercedes-Benz E-Class, Cadillac CTS, and Audi A6. Although it may look unimpressive on paper, 220 horsepower, inline 6, the engine is still special. It's the 2JZ, the same engine that came in the Toyota Supra. Stock it only produces 220 horsepower on the GS, but people figured out that this car was easy to pump a lot of boost into with a large turbo, and the engine was able to produce 1,000 horsepower with just a tune and some minor modifications. If you decide to keep the car untuned, it was still able to be twin turboed, as the Supra came with a twin turbo option. Because of this, the car was able to push out 400 or 500 horsepower without any tune or modifications, just a turbo. The car went for about $45,000 when it was new, but now they go for around $3,000, and with that you get a super durable engine that can be boosted to make tons of power for almost no money. Coming in at number 8 is the Mercury Marauder. This car shares the same chassis as the Lincoln Town Car, Ford Crown Victoria, and the Grand Marquis. Unlike those other cars though, this has a dual overhead cam 4.6 liter V8 producing 303 horsepower compared to 220 horsepower from the single overhead cam 4.6 liter V8. The same engine as the Marauder, but with only one cam, which came on the Town Car, Ford Crown Victoria, and the Grand Marquis. This car will surprise anybody who thinks it's a normal, slow Grand Marquis, as they'll take a ride in it, and the 303 horsepower dual overhead cam V8 will blow them away. When this car was new back in 2004, it would run about 35 grand, which isn't bad as it's almost as nice as the Lincoln Town Car's interior, but at a much more powerful engine, especially for the time. Coming in at number 7 is the Dodge Charger Hellcat. Now most people know what a Dodge Charger is, and they usually associate it with a muscly family sedan, which is true for all the trims, especially when you get to the Dodge Charger Scat Pack. Now that has the 6.4 liter V8 producing 485 horsepower with its naturally aspirated V8, coming in at only 40 grand. But for an extra 15 grand, you could get the supercharged 6.2 liter Hemi V8 producing a massive 707 horsepower. Now this is the most horsepower you could get for the money, and this car has the highest horsepower per dollar, costing less than $100 per horsepower. That's a really good value, considering that a Ferrari has less horsepower for almost triple the price. Now, yes, I do know that there's a Challenger Hellcat, but that already is a muscle sports car. Even though they do have the identical engines and the identical trims, the Charger is not a sports car, so that's why this is on the list rather than the Challenger. Coming in at number 6, we have the Mercedes-Benz R63. Now this car definitely does look like a minivan. It's a crossover, or it's a minivan. Most people call it a crossover because it doesn't have the fan style doors. But, you know, on lower models you get a V6 producing around 300 horsepower, which is about average for most crossovers or minivans. But as you move up the product line, you get a 6.3 liter V8 AMG engine. Now this thing produces 507 horsepower, which is essentially on a minivan. That's absolutely ridiculous. This van-like crossover will make you stand out from the rest of the people on the road, and you'll be able to embarrass a lot of muscle cars or sports cars from a stoplight. This car is the runner-up epitome of a sleeper. The other one is later on this list. We'll get to that one later. When this car was new, it would run around 88 grand, which is big bucks for a glorified minivan. But that engine definitely makes it worth it. Coming in at number 5 is the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8. Now before any of you say the R63 has more horsepower, which it does, the Jeep has never been associated with performance, while Mercedes has the SL Class, SLS, and the AMG version of most of their cars, so that is why the Jeep is ahead of the Benz. As I said, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is usually seen as Jeep's nicest vehicle and their best family vehicle and a towing machine. The base models come with a 3.6 liter V6 that produces just over 500 horsepower, but the SRT8, now just called the SRT, comes with FCA's Fiat Chrysler Association. Iconic 6.4 liter V8 Hemi, the same engine in the Scat Pack Charger / Challenger. This car is pumping out 470 horsepower, and you will be able to demolish the majority of cars off the stoplight. This car will run you 65 grand, which is a lot more than a 3.6 liter Cherokee, and at the same time, the same price as the Charger Hellcat. But you get a normal boat tower with a 740 horsepower Hemi engine. So this car is definitely worth taking a look at. Coming in at number 4 is the Mercedes-Benz F600. Now, I know the S65 is the exact same thing, it's just a tuned version of this engine, but yeah, I'm not talking about that one. But this is the only S-Class, again, besides the S65 that has a V12. Now this V12 is incredible, producing 523 horsepower. This twin-turbo V12 will bring the car up to 190 miles per hour without any modifications, other than a removal of the stock limiter that Mercedes installs with the car. This engine is not only used in the S600 and the SL600, but also in the Aston Martin DB9 and Aston Martin Vanquish. This is the only sedan besides the Maybach, which is essentially the exact same car but a lot nicer, that has a V12 in it. This car runs a heavy price though, 169 grand. Now this will get you a much nicer interior than the S550 or the S63 AMG, as well as a V12 badge on the side of the car. Coming in at number 3 is yet another SUV, the Audi Q7. Now this car comes with multiple engines on the lower end, like a 6-cylinder diesel engine or a 6-cylinder gasoline engine. Now those engines are both pretty decent, but the engine we're after for this list is a 6-liter V12 turbocharged diesel engine. Now this engine is extremely powerful, producing only 493 horsepower, but an absolutely ridiculous 783 pound-feet of torque. Now to put that into perspective, that's roughly how much power you'd get from a Super Duty truck like the Ford F350 or the Silverado 3500. Now with all that power in a casual luxury 7-seater, you're going to be able to tow a large boat, a trailer full of furniture, or even another Audi Q7. Now this car does cost close to around $125,000 for a luxury 7-seater. That's a little bit more than the other ones, but you get a ridiculously powerful engine that will make you stand out on the road, so it makes this car worth taking a look at. Coming in at number 2 is the cousin to the Audi Q7, the VolksWagen Touareg. Like the Q7, the Touareg has a gas and diesel V6 option for the base models, and in recent years, Volkswagen added a 2-liter turbo. But again, like the Q7, that's not the engine we were after. Unlike the Q7 though, the Touareg actually has 2 crazy engines, a diesel V10 and a gasoline W12. Now let's address the diesel first, the V10. This engine is a 5-liter turbocharged V10 diesel engine, producing a modest 310 horsepower and an incredible 553 pound-feet of torque. This will be able to tow 7,700 pounds, which is really impressive, but not as crazy as a twin turbocharged W12 engine. This engine will produce 444 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque, which will bring this thing to 60 in just under 6 seconds, and bring it up to 155 at its max speed, which is absolutely ridiculous. This engine is actually used in the unsuccessful VolksWagen Phaeton, as well as all the Bentleys that come with 12 cylinders. If you were to equip either engine in this Touareg, this car will run you approximately 100 grand, but that does get you a crazy engine, whichever way you decide to go. Coming in at number 1, finally, is the epitome of a sleeper, the very unusual Dodge Ram SRT10. The Dodge Ram is iconic even if you side with Chevy or Ford. But not many knew about this edition of the Dodge Ram. This truck came stock with an 8.3-liter Dodge Viper engine. That Dodge Ram usually comes with a Hemi V8 engine or a Cummins diesel engine, depending on what you opt for. But only for 3 short years, 04 through 06, you can pick this truck up with the Viper engine. This engine produces 500 horsepower and 525 pound-feet of torque, and will bring the truck to 60 in only 4.9 seconds. That's only 1.2 seconds faster than the Dodge Viper. That's absolutely ridiculous, considering that it's a pickup truck. The truck was still able to tow, unfortunately, as some other sports trucks were able to tow a small load with a nice engine. This truck costed $55 grand with a V10 back when it was in production, but they're going for under $20,000 now in most cases, which means it's kept value pretty well over the years. Thank you for watching our video. Sorry about the long wait on this one. We're still getting videos out. We're still setting up our channel. We'll be coming out with more videos soon. Thank you for watching.